in doubt, limit government. You can't go wrong limiting government.
Can you tell us what's happening with pension reform for the state?
There are about a dozen bills floating around for pension reform. Pension reform, by the way, I love to say we're going to take care of this whole problem. It is very hard to do. The Arizona Constitution has a clause in it that we are not allowed to decrease any public employee pension benefit. That's in the Constitution. So we have to change the Constitution. Yeah. So we have to change we have to change the Constitution if we want to change the benefits of people who are already retired or already in the system. If it affects how much money they're going to get. And that's just about everybody. You know, making a change for new employees takes years and years before you get enough of them where it makes a difference. Even if you change the Constitution, our attorneys say we'd be tied up in court for a long time because they claim it's a violation of contract law, because it's also a contract. So it's difficult. There are things that we can do, rules, how things are calculated, and we're going to be doing a lot of those things. We can increase the employee's contribution. Right now, especially in the public safety pension fund, the state pays almost everything, the employee pays virtually nothing. So we're going to change that and say equal contributions. I personally am pushing bills. I'm pushing a bill that overtime can't be used in the calculation. That sometimes causes an increase at the end, a spike into the pension. I put in an amendment, hopefully it'll stay with the bill, that usually the pension is calculated on your 5 best consecutive years. And it used to be 3. We made it 5 to reduce spiking. But I want to add a clause that each year can't be more than 110% of the prior year. And by doing that, you don't have a situation where some board of some small agency decides to give their CEO or their executive, a $100,000 pay raise, 2 years before they're retiring, which happened in one jurisdiction. So things like that we can do. And I'm going to do as much as we can. But frankly, I was a little surprised at the resistance that I met with the overtime thing and the 110 thing. I also want to get rid of return to work, where you retire and come right back. Now, in all decency, we really need to grandfather in people who've done it. Because it was legal to do, people did it, they formally left their jobs and retired and came back. And if you kill it for everybody instantaneously, these people will suddenly have no income, and that wouldn't be fair. So we would have to, stop all future people from doing it, and say those who are in it now, only can stay for another 2-3 years, so that we don't really economically destroy somebody. But I'm getting kickback on that. It's like, some conservatives are telling me, well, that's a contract, and they got their pension, they should be able to collect it and still work. I said, look, the purpose of the pension, and when people passed it, was so when people get old, they have money to live on. It wasn't so after 20 years they can suddenly stay in the same job and make 150% more because they're paying their pension. And I tell people, you don't put these tough reforms in, you're not going to have public pensions anymore, because the public is going to be so upset they're going to get rid of the whole system. They're going to put everybody on a 401k. And I've seen the data on 401ks, and it's not pretty. And it's not just because of the economic downturn. Even before the economic downturn, the average person with a 401k was far short of what that person would need when they get old to live on. So I say, I believe we can make the defined benefit program we have now, I think we can make it work affordable if we cut the benefits down and stop all the abuse. But I say, if you don't go along with these reforms, then the public's going to rise up and say, the heck with all of this, and we're going to throw the whole damn thing out.
Well, that's what I say now.
Yeah.
I mean, why should public employees get a better pension than people in the private sector?
No, they should pay their way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have time for one more question.